The world burned gold beneath the ancient sun. Wind rippled across the endless grasslands, carrying the scent of dust and danger. A group of early humans, Australopithecus afarensis, lean and cautious, crept through the savanna, every movement guided by instinct older than memory. The herd they followed, giant antelopes with horns like curved spears, grazed near a river where the earth shimmered with heat. Hunger drove the tribe forward. The leader, a scarred male with a jutting brow, signaled with a grunt and a flick of his hand. Others fanned out, clutching sharpened stone flakes and heavy branches hardened by fire. Their bodies glistened with sweat and ochre dust. Every sound, the buzz of flies, the whisper of grass, was a thread in the great fabric of survival. Suddenly, the herd spooked. Heads snapped up, ears twitched. The reason came seconds later, a guttural roar from beyond the reeds. A saber-toothed tiger, massive, rippling with muscle, its eyes like molten amber. The tribe froze. The predator crouched low, tail twitching. A battle of patience began beneath the brutal sky. The tiger lunged, not at them, but at the antelopes. Chaos erupted. Dust exploded upward as hooves thundered. The humans moved like shadows. Scavengers turned opportunists. They hurled stones, shouting silent cries from deep in their throats. The tiger tore into its prey, but before it could feast, a thrown branch struck its flank. Enraged, it turned, fangs flashing. The leader barked a command. The tribe scattered and regrouped, circling with primitive cunning. A female struck its hind leg with a rock. Another darted forward with a spear-tipped branch. The air trembled with violence, flesh, fur, stone, and fire. The tiger slashed, sending one hunter tumbling into the dirt. Blood darkened the grass. But then came fire-crude torches, lit by sparks, carried from smoldering wood. Flames hissed and danced, symbols of power the beast had never known. The tiger recoiled, snarling, retreating into the golden haze. When it vanished, silence fell, broken only by panting and the crackle of flame. The tribe stood victorious, trembling, alive. They tore meat from the fallen antelope, smoke rising as they cooked beneath the open stars. Days later, the rains came. The tribe moved through the flooded savanna, water glimmering like molten glass. Their world had changed, herds scattered, rivers swelled, and hunger returned. They found shelter in a cave, carved by wind and time, its walls whispering the memories of ancient floods. Inside, they kindled fire from dry bark and stone. The flames painted the cavern walls with flickering shadows, figures of hunts and storms. Children watched, wide-eyed, as the adults prepared traps woven from reeds. Survival had become ritual. Every gesture was a prayer made with muscle and bone. But deep within the cave, something stirred. A sound, dry, scraping, alien. The leader approached, torch in hand, light trembling across the stone. Then, from the ceiling, a shape descended, glistening, black, immense. A giant spider, its body armored, legs as long as spears. The creature had made this cave its home. The torch dropped. Fire flared across the webbing. The creature hissed, retreating, then struck. The tribe screamed, not in words, but in the primal rhythm of fear and defiance. They hurled stones, stabbed with sharpened sticks. Webs snapped like tendons. One child was pulled aside, the leader lunged, cutting her free. Flames spread across the web, filling the cave with smoke and red light. The spider reared, massive and trembling. Then came the final strike, a thrust of a burning branch into its eyes. The creature convulsed, shuddered, then fell still, its body curling like ash. The tribe emerged coughing, their faces blackened with soot. Outside, rain washed them clean. They raised their hands to the sky, to life, to fire, to survival. The cave burned behind them, its smoke rising like an offering to the gods of the storm. Days passed. The land dried again, revealing bones of long-dead beasts scattered across the grasslands. The tribe moved onward, leaner but wiser, carrying with them tools, food, and fire. They crossed rivers by building rafts of reeds, balancing children atop their backs. They learned to hide from vultures that followed death, and to read the movements of clouds that promised rain. But the savannah had one more trial to give. As the sun set in a red wound of light, the hunters spotted shapes slinking through the grass. Not one, but 3 saber-toothed tigers, drawn by the scent of cooked meat. This time, there was no cave, no rain, no shelter. Only open ground and will. The tribe formed a circle around the fire. Spears rose, embers glowed. The predators stalked closer, muscles rippling beneath striped fur. One leapt and met a spear in midair. Another lunged for the food pile. The leader kicked the embers into its face. The third circled behind, silent as death. A young female saw it and charged, shrieking, slamming her torch into its flank. Fire spread through its fur. It fled howling into the dark. The other 2 broke away, vanishing into the night. The silence afterward felt like the breath of the world itself. Smoke curled upward into the starlit sky. The tribe, battered and scarred, sat in a circle, passing food hand to hand. No words, only the rhythm of breathing, the slow heartbeat of victory. By dawn, the savannah stretched endless, once more golden, eternal. The leader stood watching the horizon, a child perched on his shoulders, firelight still in his eyes. The tribe began to move again, following the herds, following the wind. Their prints would fade with time, erased by dust and rain. Yet their story, the story of those who fought with fire, courage, and unity against fangs and shadow, would echo through the bones of the earth. Long before language, before memory, they learned the first rule of life, that survival is not strength alone, but togetherness. The flame they carried would one day become the dawn of humankind.